Yo, whoa, 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 hold on here. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh. All right, let's party. What up, everybody? Hold on here. Let's make sure everybody gets in okay. Whoa. Hold on here 1 second. My people. Hey, Joy, what's up? Yeah. All right, all right. Sorry, just making sure. Joy, what's up, darling? My love. Ha ha. What is going on? I've missed you. How was your travels? Heck yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. All right, man, let's get to work. Lloyd, let's take a look at this OPTT. This is up your alley, huh? Dude, 76 million shares in volumes already. Yo, this is, an old school, it's this old school alt energy play. It's been around since I had hair like Bradley Cooper. I mean, it's obviously a blatant, nasty pump and dump. You know, it always has a cool name. Like, hey man, getting power from oceans. That sounds like a damn good idea. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get power from an ocean. Where are you gonna get power? Like that just seems logical. Like this OPTT should be $5,000, $10,000. But somehow they, since 2009, have been having a little bit of trouble harnessing the power from the oceans. And so here we are, face to face, like a couple of silver spoons. Know where we are. Anybody know what show that's from? Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I'm just making sure everybody gets in. Interesting morning here because, we closed pretty strong and then the futures market was kind of fading off at opening tip here. And we're starting to blow off here and kind of bleed out a little bit. Let's take a look and see, what we got to do here. So there's a couple things here. First of all, the market is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're on day 11 of some just sideways range, which is, totally fine, right? As stocks get extended, you've got to consolidate. That's just the nature of the game. Stocks get their power from consolidation. They get their power from basing. And so this kind of sideways movement works off the overbought condition. And we had a huge one. If you really think like, going from 414 to 485, 70 points on the QQQs is a significant amount of cheese. And so now we're kind of spending some time here. And you're seeing this in the slight distribution that's happening in, right, some of the tech stocks and stuff like that. I just read that the selling in the tech stocks has been pretty heavy by hedge funds of recent, and it's been really concentrated in semiconductors and stuff like that. So they're taking a little bit of a breather, but I think they look okay still. They're just kind of pulling back a little bit and forming out here. So Lana, this arm, it's okay if it holds this 20. I would say as long as it holds 150, you're in for some. It's still bullish. you want to like it's just backing and filling this area right here. And as long as it kind of holds here, it's just tightening up. So it was a pretty loose range because it got so extended. You go from 190 to 180, you're gonna have to congeal a little bit, like a little cheeseburger, right? So you got to congeal it and tighten it up. As you tighten it up, then you're gonna have yourself like a lot more. Then you're gonna have yourself a lot more quesos. Does that make sense? Good. Shit. All right, now we're back. Oh shit. Hold on. I heard a little screen freeze. All right, we back. We back. Cool. So this arm it's been acting a little bit weird, but let's I'd watch and see this 20 SMA, see how it holds. If it does, then you're gonna be in for a good spot. Let's just make sure that we're not stepping in front of it too early. Does that make sense? All right, cool, 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 cool. Ooh, my little boy just woke up. Yeah, you can see kind of even with NVIDIA, you're just stuck in these boxes here, guys, until these boxes kind of, coagulate, I would think is the proper term. They're going to just act a little bit weird. So I wouldn't worry too much about any of this. Let's take a look at the market indices, and then let's go into I still got a nice watch list of stocks that I think that are going to have a little bit of quesos today. Yeah, let's get into this here. Hold on here. So yeah, I would say with the QQQs, you got a little bit of a drift off, but this is the level that you want to watch, right? So you're in a little bit of a box, 476 to 482. Now, with tomorrow being a half day, you may get some just choppiness today. It looks like, at least on the PR side, it's dead out there, right? So you do want to be just a little bit careful. We're not going to have like that much news flow, which is fine, but we've got these levels to trade around, and I think that's going to be the important part for today. If you look at the SPY, you're just kind of drifting down into 20 SMA too. I would just draw like a little trend line here to remind you. If you test into that, that's where you want to start to kind of look and see, like if you start to bleed out, right? And you test into that, that's where the fun spot's going to be. Like that's where we want to be looking and saying like, all right, we got ourselves a little something, something. Does that make sense? Cool. Man, that's getting there here. And the IWM is a little bit weird. Like yesterday, so you got 2 days in a row, the gaps have faded off, right? So every time it looks bullish, it becomes bearish, right? So this is your small cap, mid cap ETF. Every time it looks bullish, it becomes bearish. So the gaps have faded off 2 days in a row on this. So this is just a nasty McGee at this point. You're going to want to just probably take a little chill pill on this one. That's my guess, because you've got a trend line break here that, it may go, it may not. The thing is when you have an absence of trend, like none of these things really matter, right? Like it's like, and when it looks good, it's bad. When it looks bad, it's good. And that's just the nature. That's just the nature of things. So you can go in here and just be a little bit, I'd be just a little bit cautious on this one. So we don't have that much to read on the indexes, right? The Qs is opening weak. The SPY is opening slightly weak, but we've got some levels to trade around. And it's not so weak where you got to come in hot on the short unless you just do it for like a few minutes. When you have this type of open, this is what we call the kiss your sister open. There's not that much to do, on the short side, because you're already gapping down. And so you want to be a little bit careful here. On the SPY, we need to see how we react around this like 542-ish zone. I think that'll be a little bit important there. let's take a look at the PRs. As I think we got a little bit of, I think we're going to have a little bit of fun today on some of these other stocks. I got a good watch list to go in here. So you got the VLC, and this is a pump and dump stock. Oh, here, dark trades. 1 second. This is a pump and dump stock. I don't think there's anything you could do with this one unless you want to unless you trade small caps. This is probably, a dead dog. Yeah, I'd leave this one. I'd leave this one probably alone for now. Let's keep going here. That thing's a piece of shit. GovX, nothing there. You can see there's not really any PRs out here, right? On the downside, you got nothing. Good. All right, cool. So I got a nice watch list for tomorrow that I made last night that I think we want to go into. So I'm going to break this up between swing trades and day trades, all right? Swing trades are stocks you're holding for multiple days, and then day trades are essentially day trades. Now, let's roll in with this bad boy. So this Onan, all right? So this is a stock I'm watching for a swing trade. So this stock has a flat top breakout out, right? You got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. So you roll in from 36 to 44, so maybe about 20% gain. And now you're starting to kind of work your way back here. See how you're starting to work your way back here. And so now you're pulling into the 50-day moving average, right? So any kind of like reversal candle, hold candle here, pin bar, or something along that end, you're going to have yourself a nice chance for possibly a little swing. It looks like Tesla's got a piece of something out. They must have the delivery news out. Hold on here. Whoop. Now let's see here. Tesla. And the eagles fly. Yeah, it's hanging here. I'll keep an eye on this. Watch this one around 2:30. Tesla in the second quarter, we produced approximately 411,000 vehicles, delivered approximately blah, blah, blah. Ooh. Now let's take a look at this PR here real quick. Right, so you got Tesla in the second quarter, we produced approximately 411,000 vehicles, delivered 444,000, 411K, right? Clean Spark Expo, Bitcoin mining. All right, so it's kind of not a huge surprise. I mean, they were kind of expecting it in that realm of things, but I think that'll be something to just keep an eye on today. Because, the one thing with Tesla is everybody's always expecting it to like disappoint because that's how it's been acting this week. So we'll kind of keep an eye on this one. Let's get back into this. So we've got Onan here. I think this has got a good look for a potential swing trade. As long as we hold this level here and close well, then we can put a stop at 37.66. If we need some shorts, guys, there's 2 shorts that I really like here that, for day trades only. All right? For day trades only. So we got this Mickey D's. Hey, dark trades, try that one out. So we got this Mickey D's over here, right? You got this level right here. I'm thinking, we're right pretty much at it. So any intraday pattern under this level, I think is going to be a good spot. What do you think? I like it too. The second one, wish they didn't gap down so much. On any pops, you see this big trend. See this big trend on lows yesterday? You never really think this one would move much, but it does actually move pretty good. And you can see when I see 2 big candles like this, right, it's telling you something, right? Somebody's selling this thing off here. And you can see here, right, just in general, after that big ramp, it's just been lower, high, lower, high. So you're breaking down this level here. Now, you don't want to chase this down, right? Let it pop up intraday. right? Let it pop up into the bone zone or something along that end. That'll be a good spot. Damn, they like that thing. That's what we call MPC. Whew. Well, we'll see how it reacts today. Damn. All right. Now, the couple things with Tesla, it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is day 6 in a row. So, it's probably, but it's a key rebound here. You see how it's breaking over the 200-day moving average. So as you break over the 200-day moving average and hold there, it's an important thing, right? Because it's been stuck under this trend line for so long, and it's been under the 200-day moving average this whole year since January. So this is its kind of first trending moment in quite some time where it's actually been moving explosively with a little bit of volume expansion. So you can't really chase this thing up here now. It's on day 6 of the move. But, any kind of pullbacks in the next handful of days, as you start to pull back into this will be, probably viable, if it pulls back nicely. Let's come back to this because there's nothing we can do on this anymore. So let's go back into the watch list. We got all lows here. Watch for any pop on this one. Let me get you some levels here. Yeah, I would roll. Man, if you got this thing back up into 215, something along that end, man, you'd really be shredding. Yeah, somewhere into this zone right here, right? So if you kind of make like a little box around this thing, like you'll have yourself a nice shred. Right, so anywhere in this like kind of box here, that's a good spot because you'll have a lot of supply there. And so you can kind of shove it right into that. Now, this I like for today for a day trade. If the market goes green or wants to go green, we've got Pan W here. So Pan W had a really nice breakout. So you got 1 test, 2 test, 3 test, 4 tests. You got 9 EMA curling up under it. So you got a really beautiful breakout. Now, after post-breakout, what you start to see here, hold on, just get my little face serums on. Gotta get your face serums on here, buddies. If you're not using proper serums, your eyes are going to look like an old man's ball sack. And what's the point of becoming a trader, making money, finding your dreams, and then you look like an asshole because your eyes look like an old man's ball sack? So you get your serums on, guys. This is, and you got to layer them on appropriately. 7 minutes between serums is ideal. You want to go in with a little hyaluronic acid, maybe some peptides, a little vitamin C if you need a little refresher. You got to get these kind of things going. That's going to just supercharge your life a little bit. Maybe even more important than a proper trade journal. So going back to this Pan W, you've got a level here at 344. And so after this push, you have 2 inside days. 2 inside days. Guys, inside days in this market have been, they've been the tour de jour. What I mean by tour de jour, they've been hot, right? And so what we want to really be doing, like this is right up our alley on this bad boy. I love this one. So I got 2 triggers on this that I want to be aware of. Number 1 is 343, right? First trigger. Second trigger, 345. If we can start to push through this, now we're into something. Now we're into something good. A beautiful God-fearing Christian setup right there. Now, while Pan W is doing this, we can keep an eye on Crowd. Now, Crowd has opened up a little bit too far, and it looks like key budget price target credit 440 from 3 maintains over array, 5% downgrades to neutral. Price target's 400. So this was looking hot. It was looking hot yesterday. You had the big Mama Jamma close. Now they're downgrading it. The setup is still there, but the gap is a little bit, it's a little bit weaker than I'd want. So when you want to do a red to green trade, guys, a red to green trade is a morning reversal trade. When you got a red to green trade, you ideally want like a light gap down. Like you don't want like a big honking, gap down that's like almost the whole ATR. So the ATR on this is $10.50. The gap is at 10 points. And so it's a little bit of a bigger gap. Now, will you fill some of the gap? 100%. But will it go red to green? That I'm not sure on. So just be a little bit mindful of that. Guys, give me 1 second. I got to fluff my coffee. Is Nancy still playing that one? All right. All right, cool. So you got crowd here. Let's see if this old low holds. If it does, guys, we're in for a treat. All right. If it does, we're in for a little bit of a treat. We'll see what's up on this bad boy. Now, going back to this AVGO, out of the semiconductors, a lot of them look like shit right now. This is the best one. All right. The reason it's the best one, you went from 1,300 to 1,800, so pretty good gain. This gap here is on earnings, right? And of course, it went parabolic, as they all do. It seems to do. So now you start to pull back 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days pullback into kind of in between your 9 EMA and 20 SMA. And you've just been rounding here at the 1,600 mark. And there's been a little bit of a lid on it. And you can see here it's starting to finally kind of peek through here. I love the overall look of this. Now, obviously, it's fucking expensive, right? And so when you look at something like this, it's like, all right, do I want to buy a, $1,600 stock? You probably would have to do the calls on it. I would probably, like, if I was going to play it myself, I'd go out like a week and, go out a week and you go into the 1,700 or something like that. That'll be a little bit cheaper. And you'll still get some pretty good range. I traded for this for a hot second here in this little break, and it's a little bit thin. There's a spread on it, but the range is really, really good. So I like the overall look of this. I think you got something there. Now, the second one I want to add in, this is another semiconductor. I'm looking for these ones that are kind of rounded here. So this thing was at $47. It had shit earnings, as most of them have been doing, right? Then, you're right, Gregory, I agree. Then you're starting to go and round up on this thing, right? So when you start to break, if you can break and close over this 20 SMA and fill some of this gap, I think this one has some room to go. And the reason, my only thinking on this, and usually I don't counter trend trade at all, but the reason I've been thinking that this one's got a shot to rebound is if you see how some of these other stocks that are showing this setup, the market's been so strong that traders are buying up all these stocks that have been like gapping down. Like, see this MDB? It had this huge gap down. And usually the play is when you have a stock that gaps down like this on bad earnings or an earnings miss, you're usually playing it to the continuation on the downside. But the market's been so hot that the traders have been flipping these things on the gap fill. So you can see like this MDB, like you get this nasty trend and then boom, like this thing was at 230. I've been putting this on the blog every single day for a while. And it just starts to reverse. If you look at Snow, right? So this was earnings here this particular day. There was no gap, but it reversed on earnings. And then you had this huge trend down. And then look at right here. You had like this nasty little bear flag on this 24th, 25th. And then bam, reversal. And then it's catching everybody off guard, right? And MDB, very, very similar. It's just drifting down. And you're like, okay, bear flag life. Boom, right? No bear flag life. And you start to fill the gap. So when you look at SMTC, you've got this like nasty fall. And then now, right, it looked like right here. See how like right here, it looked like you were going to have a bear flag. But the big hairy Indian butt of this was just the bear flags are the buy spots. And markets always change. Like, in our boot camp class, we teach bear flags. Like, when you see bear flags, you fucking short them. But the big hairy Indian butt is that we're in such a, unique spot in the markets where these kind of things have been, man, they've been the spot to actually buy of recent. And so we want to always kind of be just mindful of what we're seeing. We want to be a little bit mindful of what we're seeing here, because I think this has got a shot to fill this gap in, and it could be actually fairly explosive. Damn, that's a good look. And GitLab is doing a very similar thing, like nasty downtrend. And see right here, like you got this bear flag, right? But the bear flags are turning into the buy spots. And look at the volume that's been coming into these stocks, as they start to reverse on these lows. Well, Samka, you can do anything in life. That's besides the point. All right. Set an alert here. So if I'm looking at an hourly chart, all right, let's set an alert. Like, the real gap fills here, but I want to be in before that, right? So like I want to look for secondary triggers. So once we start this, we got a week open on this one. Let's see if we red to green. It does trade because it's a lack of volume. It did 5 million shares the other day, but because it's a little bit thin, it may kind of hee-haw a little bit in the morning before the trend sets. So make sure you don't step in front of it. Let the trend set, and then you're going to be onto something. Besides, damn, Tesla's still going, huh? Dude, Birdman, you're fucking shredding on this thing, huh? Damn. What can you do? I think Rivian also is Rivian, which is a much shittier company, but they're also setting up here. So you had this gap here because they got the investment from Volkswagen, and now you're starting to pull back here. Yesterday they had some news out that they are starting to deliver some vehicles for Amazon, trucks for Amazon, which had a muted response. And right now they've just reported their Q2 production 10,000. The company delivered 13,000, which is not a big number for a $13 billion company. For example, Ford delivers millions of cars, and they're $50 billion company. But this is looking very good, actually. More of a swinger. So with Tesla going, keep this Rivian on the watch list. If you see here, you've got a spot here that we can trade around. If you look here, this is your hourly chart. 1460 or so. What do you think? I like. I'm into it. Hold on here 1 second. My mom's blowing me up. There we go. All right, 1450. Let's add this bad boy. Now I want to take a look at some crypto stocks, right? So Bitcoin is just kind of sitting around here. If we look at BITO or IBIT or any of the ETFs, they're just sitting around here. They had a little bit of a reversal day yesterday, which was important, but now you're kind of breaking back down, in between. So they're just acting a little bit weird. But I would say the good thing is that the crypto stocks, the miners were on fire yesterday. So look, you've got Mara here. Big run yesterday, right? Breakout. Dude, you got to We've been trying to break this fucking range. I drew so many damn trend lines on this. So let's check this out. I had the trend line here and it popped up and did nothing. They had the trend line. I had the trend line here and it popped up and did nothing. I had the trend line here and popped up and did nothing. And all of a sudden yesterday I wasn't looking and then, here we go, right? These fucking trend lines are sometimes bogus. Always remember that if you're reading any trading books or anything, because you can redraw them. You can redraw them so many times. But this was this is a good looker yesterday. No getting around that. So you had an all-day trend on this. And so when you have that, usually the open the next day, if it doesn't gap up, is going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Watch for the red to green on this thing. If it does it, then we'll have something. All right. If it does it, then we'll have something here. And you get a day two. It has not been doing day twos very often. So you got to be, I always get excited about this thing because I've made so much money on this in the past, like, when it was doing this in this run. And so in my head, I want to replay this all the time, right? You see it and you want to replay it. But the thing is, like, it hasn't been doing it. So today is going to be very telling, right? Does it go red to green? Does it go red to green and dump off and then do some inside days? Oftentimes if you have one big day, you may have a couple inside days. So you have to be careful and just be mindful of that. So the red to green will be important. Let's see if it happens. If it does, then, buenos. CLSK, much trickier range. Like, there's not as much going on. It's more stuck. Obviously the dips to support have been getting bought. And, this is another one. You could draw the damn trend line. So many. It looked like a freaking Rorschach test the way, you got to start drawing these things. But it's got a good look to it. The crypto stocks. I think iron is cleaner. So iron had the big trend, pull back. You got a green candle to hold here, flat open. I think that's that one it trades a little bit better than Mara and CLSK. The one thing with Mara is it does almost too much volume. I know that's counterproductive, but Mara does like a damn 100 million shares of volume. It just trades. It can trade a little bit funky at times. I think the iron moves just a little bit. Hey, Christian, how you been, brother? Just a little bit cleaner. Now, the other one, the one that's been acting really well is this Wolf Nation. All right? The Wolf Nation, dude, the Wolf Nation is something. All right? The Wolf Nation is something. First of all, you have huge base here. Look at this thing. When you think about it, the bigger the base, the sweeter the juice, right? The bigger the base, bigger base, the sweeter juice. So now you got this hot heat coming in, right? So you gapped up, you pulled back, you even had a little bit of a flag pattern. Like, you got all the goodies in this one. So like, this is, if you look at the size of the base and the location of it, then this is probably the best one out of the group, right? So just kind of be mindful of that. You got all the fun stuff here. All the fun stuff. Light open. I think you got probably room to the top of the Bollinger Band, which is about 560. Good. Now, a couple other ones I want to add in. Kava. All right. Dude, Kava has got a 6 spot on it. A really nice spot. You've got this 95, 96 zone. I think that one's going to be, dude, it's right up our alley. Fucking Tesla, motherfucker. Damn. Can't chase that one. We might even have to flip it. Good. We got AVGO, Kava, PanW, Iron. Qualcomm might actually leave alone today. And hey, this Reddit is getting stuck. It needs 2 rest days probably. See how it's getting a little bit long in the tooth here? It's popped $10. 1 or 2 rest days to back and fill this area is going to be nice. Like, if you get that going, dude, you're going to be in for a hot spot. Crowd we got. Onon's a swing. And we got Mickey D's and low for shorts. Yeah, BTBT looks okay. You know, I think that one also, they had a news out though a couple days ago. See this spike here? So you can definitely roll with this one too. A little too cheap for my taste. I find the range is too compressed, but it's not bad. Lulu, Christian, you know, I think this might be if this was a tech stock, I would say it's probably a candidate to do the reversals that have been happening. It's not a tech stock, so I'm not sure it reacts the same way, but I would watch and see. If it remounts those MAs, it may do what all these other ones are doing. You got the right idea on it. My only thing I'm not sure of is, because it's not a tech stock, is it going to be, doing a little this, a little that? Hey, Amazon just got an upgrade. Hey, watch 200 on this, all right? You got a flag pattern? I believe you just got an upgrade too. I just saw something on the... Let me check this. Oh, Amazon Mizuho maintains Amazon's top pick with 240 targets, is nearing inflection point. Hey, dude, why not? Let's add Amazon too. Why not? We're feeling festive. Cool. Guys, trade well, trade fast. You know the drill here, baby. Don't know. Lana. Guys, and don't forget, 4th of July specials. I got a bundle on the futures, options, swing trading, and day trading chat. You guys, if you haven't noticed, we've been doing futures too and just shredding it. Levi's been just knocking them out of the park on those. So we got a little bundle life on all of those things too. Let's go have some fun. Guys, I'll be in the Discord room the rest of the day doing what we need to do, which is the do.